All right, everyone. Welcome to tonight's post-match press conference. We're joined first by head coach Josh Wolf. Josh, we'll start with your thoughts on the match.
It's always challenging come to Minnesota. They got a good team. They're an aggressive team in general. They're probably even more aggressive at home. So we knew we'd have our hands full. They put a lot of numbers into the attack. They try to press you and stress you in certain ways. We weathered the storm. I don't think it was our brightest start. And we hung in there on a couple opportunities. Very, very much second balls behind the line real quick. It gave us a little bit of trouble. But after we got through the first 15, 20 minutes, again, I think we grew into the game. I thought we scored some fantastic goals. Great contributions from Sebastian today. The whole group. Pepe did a great job. Diego contributed. Emmy was able to grab a goal. And the disappointing part, obviously, you're under a lot of pressure there and having to deal with a number of set pieces and a lot of numbers in the attack. To get the shutout would have been really fulfilling for the guys. But 10 points in the last four. I think 11 goals maybe in the last four as well, and only giving up two. So progress is being made. The guys put in a big shift tonight. Now we try to rest up and get back home tonight and have a day off tomorrow, but get back to work and get prepared for Vancouver on Wednesday.
Thanks, Coach. We'll go now to media questions. Phil, yours is the first hand I see up, so go ahead and start us off.
Okay, before we get in the game, just a weird lineup question. Redis looked like he was going to start and then was completely out of the lineup. Can you explain what happened there?
Yeah, it was just miscommunication between myself and our admin that puts that in. But Ethan was always starting, and it was just put on there wrong, so we had to quickly change that and get it corrected.
Gotcha. Was Redis on the bench then?
He was not.
Okay, so you just went with 19 then?
That's correct. He was 19.
Gotcha. Okay. And then you talked a little bit about Driussi, but obviously, first brace since the return leg at Violette. So just, kind of some thoughts about him. I mean, obviously seems like he's been a little bit unlucky throughout the season, but gets the pen and then obviously, gets a good goal in the second half that shows off some of his talents.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think he's unlucky to not have, double-digit goals. I think performances have been quite solid since he came back from his injury. He is the heart blood of this team. You can see what he does for us when he's now in the front line pressing with Gyasi, the energy that he starts to exude. Certainly he's a role model for our entire group. And, we had some fantastic passages of play. He was involved in a lot of those. He was able to get on the end of one of them and grab a penalty as well. But we need Sebastian operating in that space. We need everyone supporting and giving him support. So I thought Pepe again had a strong day. Diego was able to contribute. Throughout the back line. It's a tough night. They're putting balls. They're a fast team. Julio had to deal with a lot of situations, but Seba had a big night for him. He felt that you could see he had emotion out there on the field, and it excites the players. Goals give players confidence. Confidence goes throughout an entire group, and we know we lacked some of that at the beginning of the year. But I think the way I started, that's 11 goals in 4 games. The guys are plenty of ways to score goals, run a play. Transition today was extremely good, which we talked about and worked on this week, and they rewarded themselves. So Seba, was instrumental in a lot of ways tonight again.
Thanks, Phil. If you have another one, you can go, but I don't see any other hands up. We have any other questions for Coach Wolf?
Is it just me? Okay, let's talk about Danny then. I mean, I kind of thought Danny was player of the game. I mean, you can maybe apprise me as to who got the game ball, but I thought he was really good on the ball. Obviously, got that first assist to Diego, and then it's engineered that third goal.
Yeah, his Pepe was very good. I agree with you. You have to wait and see who got the game ball if they push that through. What is it, Instagram or some of these other things you guys got it on? But Pepe was very deserving of that, and I think we continue to talk and try to help influence him with some of the defending, but he has unique qualities, his ability to accelerate through pressure, and he lost some balls. I think that runs the risk of what he does. It was a very slick surface, very much like Miami. It took us a little while to get the pace of the ball down and balls getting away from us, but his ability to dribble through pressure, break pressure on the dribble is one of his exceptional qualities. And then obviously the soft feet, the decision making around the box are things that we continue to talk about. It was a great job of, we call them same side behind the line, but the running behind the line, breaking the last line, You know, we did a good job of that, and there were some really good passages of play, and Danny was also quite influential in many of those.
And then looks like you were talking about weathering the storm. I mean, obviously in the first half hour, they had a lot of chances. I mean, you started Kip. This was his first start in a while. So just kind of thoughts on the defense and kind of what you saw in the first half hour, and maybe, what turned it. Was it just, getting the goal against the run of play, or was there something that kind of changed?
I think on the road, I think on the road, it's always going to be challenging. I think, Kip there's a nervousness to Kip. I think you can still see that. And, the only way to get through that is to get out on the field and play. I think we again, there were little broken plays, or we lose a ball and we put ourselves in a little transition. A few of their transitions were offside, so they do generate this anxiety inside the group, but a number of them were offsides, and not to take away, they did have some chances, but as did we as the game went on. But for Kip, it's like an emotional moment. It's getting back out on the field, performing, the team doing well, which will also give him a little bit of confidence. But he's got to continue to practice and prepare. You don't just get confidence. You acquire that and build that through your training sessions, through your habits, through getting opportunities, and now taking them. So I think there's room there to improve, but we're pleased. We know we're thin at center back, and he's going to continue to get minutes. And Julio did a good job. Again, guys are very positive, trying to keep him in a good spirit and a good mind to perform. And I thought as the game went on, it became less noticeable. And some of the dueling, some of the moving, again, I think he did pretty well. But we'll look at it. There's room for him and most all players for some improvement. But pleased for him.
Thanks, Phil. We'll go now to Dylan Butler. Dylan, go ahead.
Hey, Josh, congratulations
Thanks, Dylan.
on the win. Yeah. You mentioned the goal scoring output, and obviously, the back-to-back 3-0s were at home. And as you mentioned, it's difficult in this league to get points, to get goals on the road. This kind of output, the contributions you had, how big is that kind of going forward, with some more road games coming forward?
Yeah, I think it's really important. I think, I think in Miami, the second half of the Miami game, we had the better of the game. We had the better of the chances outside of the first few minutes. So, again, I think some of our road performances, like anything, it comes, there's the moments in these games that opportunities come in, and do you take your opportunities? And when you take your opportunity, you can see an immediacy to now the momentum, the confidence, a little bit of the swagger that guys start to get. And again, we started to play better. We started to connect better. We had better fluidity. But we also talked a lot about transition. We know Minnesota at home, they put a lot into the attack. They bring numbers in an aggressive manner. So transition was always going to be something that we felt we could certainly hurt them in. And, we did a good job of that. We talked about it this week. We've worked on it the last couple weeks. So to see it come out in the game was extremely nice to see. And obviously different players contributed in really, really good ways. And, putting 4 on the board away from home, I think will give the guys continued confidence. You mentioned the 2 shutouts, 3-0 wins at home. Those obviously mean a lot to us, and to do that in front of our fans. But we have awesome traveling fans, every away game. So really, really excited that we were able to do that for them here, and obviously all our fans at home.
Thanks, Dylan. We'll go now to Corey Mose. Corey, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the dub tonight.
Thanks.
Just
Corey.
wanted to ask you, with all the games coming up, especially the Leagues Cup, how important was it to kind of get those subs in so you can save some legs?
Yeah, I think there's a number of things coming up. Obviously, there's a game on Wednesday, game on Saturday. A little bit of the 3 games in a week, but I think we'll be able to rest and recover tonight and tomorrow. We'll see what Monday looks like. But it's another great opportunity to get some guys minutes, and we'll have to make some changes along the way. We know that, especially when we come back from Vancouver, with the short turnaround and certainly the distance that will provide. But getting Adam in there, Johan in there, I think Maxi came in and gave us great spirit. I was really pleased for Emmy. Would have liked to. He ended up getting the second action to get that goal, but again, I think guys that came in and held a good standard. So I think that's really, really important. The habits that these guys work with each and every day are what allow them now, as the game gets difficult, that they have something to lean on. And that's really important for our guys to see that, feel that, and ultimately get rewarded with a good performance.
Thanks, Corey. Phil, we'll come back to you and close out this portion with your last question.
Okay, yeah, I forgot to say congrats on the win, by the way. So
No, thanks.
something I like to do after you win every time.
Appreciate it.
I wanted to ask a little bit about Brandon. Just, I obviously noticed he made the trip. Didn't seem like he was going to get minutes, but I assume this was just kind of bonding, just kind of thoughts about him continuing to integrate with the team.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think it's one, getting a little bit familiar with how we work, both at home, how we train and prepare, and then obviously when we go on the road to get him integrated with the group. I think Brandon's an interesting player. He's extremely good with the ball. I mean, right away we see it, the players see it. His ability to break lines, his calm to take on pressure, and now it's about taking on information and a little bit of our ideas. But we saw him perform at the World Cup, and obviously we've had conversations with people. But this was good for him to see the guys, see what we're about. I expect him to be in this position going forward as well. We'll have Leagues Cup, and we'll see what lines up for these next two. He hasn't played a game in MLS, so we want him to be prepared. I talk about the way you have good performances and consistency is hopefully through preparation. So him getting a good idea of what the expectations are of the center back when we have the ball, and then his roles and responsibility when we don't have the ball. But athletically, pretty good kid, very good with the ball. And I think it'll be a good opportunity over the next 6 months to see exactly what the talent is.
So is it Leo level or a little bit less, or
Passing wise?
Yeah.
Passing wise, I think he's extremely good. You like Leo? I like Leo. I like Julio too. I like them all. Great lines. Kip does all right. I'm telling you, if we could just get him more minutes, if he just, I think part of it is you can get in your own way sometimes. So, but that's what nerves do. So we just got to break those nerves. Really happy for him. The work he's done at ATX2 to get in that spot, get out there wasn't easy. It's never easy. It's a good team. These are the fast guys that came in. He's going against Pookie. It's a Premier League striker. Reynoso is as crafty as they get. So your hands are full regardless. So for Kip, he should be pleased. He made it 90 minutes. He was cramping. He grinded, and I think a lot of credit goes to him. It's part of the resiliency piece that we talk about here, and he weathered a moment back in February, and now he's back on the field starting and helping us get wins on the road. So a lot of kudos to him.
Thanks, Phil. Thanks all. We'll be back momentarily here with Diego Fagundes.
Thank you, guys.
All right, everyone, we're joined now by Austin FC midfielder Diego Fagundes. Phil West, go ahead and start us off with the first question for Diego.
All right. Yeah, so obviously kind of tough in the first half hour there. It looks like they got some chances, and then Pepe fed you for the goal, which seemed to turn things around. So just kind of thoughts on that play and just kind of what led up to that.
No, we knew exactly what we wanted to do. We get wide and get in the box and stuff. And I think they had a couple chances, but a lot of them were offside, so we weren't really worried about. We knew what they could do, and it was a lot of getting Reynoso the ball and going through. And we did well to stop them a couple of times. Yeah, sure, they had a couple chances, but I thought once we scored, we were better control of it.
Okay. And yeah, Josh was talking about 11 goals in the last 4 games. So just kind of thoughts about like where the turnarounds come from. Has it just been having the international break to kind of reset, or is there other things that are contributing to where the turnarounds happen?
I think if anybody had an answer, it would be amazing, but I don't think anybody does. I think we all just been stepping up, scoring goals, assisting, getting points, and I think that's what it takes, especially in this league. We don't want to get too far away from playoffs, so I think this win away is huge. We went to Miami, we got a point there, and we weren't really happy about it. So we came here, and I think everybody performed well. We were able to catch a couple goals. We were trying to get a clean sheet, and it didn't happen. But at the end of the day, we're leaving here with 3 points, so we should be happy.
Thanks, Phil. We'll go now to Dylan Butler. Dylan, go ahead.
Yeah, Diego, just kind of piggybacking off that, to you know, this stretch that you guys are on scoring goals, you know, I guess what 6 of them were back-to-back games at home. Now you do this on the road in a tough environment, a tough place to play. How big is that for you guys going forward? And secondly, when Sebastian plays the way he plays tonight, I guess how special of a player is he?
No, I think when everybody's scoring, we play better. I think goals change games. So I think you see it. We scored 3 against Houston and we dominated. We scored 3 against Dallas. We were having fun. We go to Miami and we score a goal there, and I think we could have had probably 1 or 2. We didn't do that, and then we came here, a tough place to play, and we're scoring goals. So I think everybody's happy about it. And what's nice, it's a lot of players are scoring goals. It's not just 1 or 2 players scoring a lot. So that's nice to see. And with Seba, it's always nice to play next to him and see him score goals. You can tell he's a special player, and he's scoring goals and playing well. This team does well.
Thanks, Dylan. Any other questions for Diego? Nope. Quick and easy. All right. Good night. Oh, wait, Phil, go ahead.
Yeah, so just kind of thoughts going into Vancouver. Obviously, it's the third of 3 road matches. They've only lost 1 on the road all year, so just kind of expectations for that. And then obviously you're heading into Leagues Cup. It's kind of uncharted territory, but you know, certainly there's a trophy to be had there.
No, first I think the pink hair needs to stay because we're undefeated with it. But no,
I was going to ask, but yeah, good.
But other than that, we just have to go out there the way we did today, play well, do what we know how to do, score goals, and try to get the game towards our going our way. We know Vancouver is a tough place to play, and it's going to be tough. But everybody needs to recover, get recovered well, and when we go out there, we know it's going to be a tough game. So we just have to make sure we're prepared. And like I said, I think if we score goals, the game could go our way. So we just have to make sure we can get our first one.
Thanks, Phil. Any other questions for Diego before we let him go?